Hi, everybody. This is Rhonda Swinar, and I am with the Canadian People and the Power Shift. And joining me today is Monique, and she is in Winnipeg, and she is organizing for July 30th in Winnipeg. And we're going to talk a bit about that today, about what you can do in your community, how you can get involved for July 30th. We're going to be in Ottawa on July 30th, 31st, and August 1st for the Heritage Day long weekend. But July 30th, we're focusing on all across Canada and what that means. Thank you for being here today, Monique. So what would you like to say first off?
I am thrilled for the opportunity to be able to say, hey, I'm in Winnipeg and July 30th is coming. We have a celebration planned, and I have friends out there who are wanting our rights, who are wanting to see Canada. They've got their dream of what Canada looks like. And I'm saying, please come out on July 30th. Let's put something together that we're just going to be so proud of. And you get to talk to like-minded people who want to see what the power shift is about and to sign their convention of consent. And let's get this ball rolling. It's already rolling, but let's get it rolling.
That's awesome, because that's exactly what we're asking people to do. That is exactly what we're asking people to do. You don't have to worry about having speakers. You don't have to worry about a stage. You don't have to worry about having, a sound system there or music or anything like that. It is just a gathering of the people in the community, Canadian, Indigenous, all nations, basically, whoever is in your community. Come out, and if you want to hold your government accountable, those that we elect accountable, if you want to talk about the next steps for that, and just get to know each other. That's exactly what July 30th is about.
Yeah.
And we're going to be doing lives with each of the groups across Canada from Ottawa to talk about, just sort of a celebration all across Canada, to show that there's groups, people celebrating all across Canada. It doesn't need to be fancy. It doesn't need to be highly organized. It just needs to be, just one second. It just needs to be in your community. That's it. That's all.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
So, and what are you planning to do?
I am still deciding on where it is specifically that we can do this live, or we'll be going live for a little bit during the gathering, but to find a place that will be legal and safe for us to be able to gather. So I'm reaching out to a few groups right now to see what kind of ideas they have, what kind of suggestions on where it is we can do this.
Okay.
So
yeah, we've been suggesting to people to do it we've been suggesting for people to in front of your city hall or your legislature or your town hall. If those places aren't available, then a public park. It is Heritage Day weekend, so there may be other heritage events going on or other events going on in your community that weekend. So you want to be respectful of the other things that are going on. And so it doesn't mean you can't join them in celebration of what this is about. So because it is about that weekend is about Canadians, Indigenous people from all other countries coming together around our heritage and to celebrate and to respect our differences and to begin to form networks so that we can collaborate and work together and begin to live. A lot of people aren't aware of the Tubro Wampum that originally are French, English, Dutch, and the Indigenous nations all signed or all entered into agreements under. And really, it's about us collaborating with each other, not stepping on each other, but collaborating and creating a strong foundation for all of our children, ourselves, and the future generations. That's what we're about.
Absolutely. Yeah. And for us to be able to get that education together to learn what that's about, because that's something that I wasn't even aware of. And there's just so many more layers than we understand, right? Politics, they didn't make it easy for us to understand. So definitely. So I'm thinking, so we're getting ready for July 30th. There are some people who are thinking with what we're trying to do here that it's taking too long. So what, I mean, this is going to take how long?
It as long as it takes, because
Yeah.
we're going to, it just is going to take as long as it takes. We're going for ultimately a constitutional correction, a correction to our constitution, and our constitution sits in the UK Parliament. People still are not aware of that. We've been years, but our constitution was only ever passed in the UK Parliament. It was never passed in Canada's Parliament. So therefore, any changes need to go over to the UK Parliament to be done. And even if Canada wanted to amend the Constitution, they would have to send those amendments over. Now, they would be approved in our Parliament, and then the amendment would be sent over to the UK Parliament to be added to the Constitution. But, the UK Parliament is still kind of involved in our Constitution because of the way our government at the time, Pierre Elliott Trudeau and the premiers at the time, did the amendments. Instead of bringing it to Canada, they left it in the UK. So the constitutional change is to put in place rights we've always had, and those are our collective civil and political rights, to be the collective citizens and Indigenous people to be the collective head of state. And why is it just citizens and Indigenous people? Well, Indigenous people were recognized as an autonomous people in Canada through the treaties. And then Canadians, that encompasses French Canada, that encompasses Quebec, that encompasses Quebecers, that encompasses everybody in Canada that's Canadian. So those two are who is the collective. So.
Excellent. Thank you. There are some people, maybe I should have asked this one after the gathering. Some people might be afraid to show up to something like a gathering. And I know someone that I had asked about, would this group be safe with having us on their property? And they said, well, they're kind of afraid because, maybe they've had, when things were locked down, or they might have gotten a fine for having somebody on their property. And so they're concerned with, well, what if you get a ticket? What if you get into trouble?
Well,
and I know we have the right.
Yeah, we do have the right to gather.
Yes, absolutely.
We do have the right. And we're not, that's the other thing that people don't, is we're not protesting, we're celebrating. We're celebrating coming together of all of the people of Canada. Instead of being so divided on all these issues, we need to come together as one big unit, and then we can begin to bring some solid change and some solid shifting in our parliamentary system, in our system of governance, in all of that. And so it really starts with each of us stepping up and collaborating and getting together with other people in our communities. That's really where it starts.
Yes, absolutely. Another thing that people are talking about is financial support. We have a lot of groups, and there are a lot of things that need to happen. And sometimes people are asking, why do I want to give my money to somebody? Why do I want to give them to a group? I understand it, but I know you can explain that great.
Yeah, we have two legal teams, one in Canada and one in the UK. And the legal team in Canada get injunctions in place and all of that once we have our constitution in place. And the legal team in the UK is working on that constitutional correction. And it may be as simple, we don't know exactly what it's going to entail. It could be really simple. It could take a bit of time. We don't know yet what that's going to entail. A lot of people have been saying, well, with Boris Johnson now, upheaval in the UK Parliament, that actually does not affect us. So what we're doing can still go forward. So, yeah.
Okay, and there
Yeah.
are some, I mean,
And,
crazy things
and
going on. Yes. Yeah.
yeah, people are asking a bunch of questions here
Okay.
about why there's absolutely nothing about news. Um, there's why haven't I gotten an email back yet? Check your spam mail if you haven't gotten an email back, and if you still haven't gotten an email, send another one. We're really busy. We have one person handling all of the groups
Yes.
across Canada, and he really needs a team. He needs a team of volunteers.
Yeah, there are a lot of emails coming in for sure.
Yeah, and really, a lot of people are asking how many signatures do we have? How many signatures? Well, we really don't know. We know how many we have, but we're not releasing that because you never ever release all of your cards to your opposition. And
Yeah.
the amount that we need isn't what we're going to need for an amendment, because we're not asking for an amendment, but we do need to demonstrate fully and confidently that enough people in Canada want this. This is why we keep asking for people to sign their Convention of Consent. And the Convention of Consent is not a petition. It's a legal document that you're signing, saying that you're uniting with everybody else who signs it. You are agreeing to unite with everybody who signs the Convention of Consent for your collective civil and political rights. And that is what you want. And your information is kept 100% private. It's never released. Your own personal Convention of Consent document is assigned a number, and only those numbers are released to show how many people are behind this. It's very much in a lot of ways, it's kind of like a referendum, but we can't call it a referendum legally. Yeah. In other ways, it's very much like the federal government polling that goes across Canada. You don't know exactly who has responded, but they know that they always have around 1,600 people across Canada respond, and from that they draft and massage public policy for around 1,600 people across Canada. So there's a wide gap there between 1,600 people and 31% needed, or 51% needed. There's a wide gap in there. And precedent has been set for 1,600. So we can definitely, it's, in that sense, it's done right now. But the more people we have, the stronger it demonstrates to the UK that this is what the people want. And the reason we need to demonstrate that is because the UK Parliament left little loopholes in our Constitution when they approved it, saying that it really is up to the people, the voice of the people. And we've never had Constitution into our Constitution for the first time in our history, something again that should have been done a long time ago. And why do we want to be in our Constitution? Because only then can we hold our governments accountable in between elections. That's the only way we can hold our governments accountable. We can put in all kinds of legislation, or ask for all kinds of legislation to be put in around, removing people if they're deemed to be corrupt and all of that. But really, all of that exists right now, and it's not being utilized. So more legislation that we cannot ensure gets used doesn't really help us. So that's why this is the route that we're going, to get a permanent change so that our children and future generations will never ever have to beg for anything.
Yeah. And that's one reason I'm fighting so hard with this, is I want my children and grandchildren to have a future in Canada where what they want is heard, where they have a right to be heard, and not giving away their power, which is what we're doing at this point. Yeah. I'm just trying to think. Some people are saying they're having some trouble with emails, or I wouldn't worry too much about putting the wrong email. If you're having if you're having trouble with email, send another email. Like I said, there's one person handling that.
So they may just not have gotten to your email yet.
Yeah, for sure.
That could be the issue.
And there is also more good news.
Here's the other thing is, pardon?
You were saying that there was another thing.
That?
Oh, that there was some good news.
Oh, yes.
In regards to working together.
Joined. Yeah, the good news is we joined the C3 group. So it's the Canadian Citizen Coalition. We have joined them. So you will see our information on their page soon. And that's with James Top and Veterans for Canada, Police for Canada. There's like several groups on their website. Let me see. I've got it right here. I can never remember exactly. So Canada Vaccine Choice, Police on Guard for the Veterans for Freedom, Mama Bears, Taking Back Our Freedoms, Canadian Frontline Nurses, and M4F, whatever. So there's several groups already that are part of the Canadian Citizens Coalition, and we are joining them. So
excellent. Yeah,
that's
wonderful.
Extremely happy about it.
Yeah.
We extremely happy about that. It is something that we are extremely happy to be working with James as he travels to the Signal Hill, and at the stops along the way. So we're going to be asking all people to join to celebrate all of that all along the way. So,
and he's coming back this way? He's walking back across Canada?
He's walking back across Canada. So, well, I don't know if he's coming back from Ottawa or from Ontario to be back to BC. I'm not sure yet. They're kind of taking it in chunks. It's a big undertaking, right? And it's a huge personal sacrifice. Like he's old. He will have put his life on hold just a year by the time he's done. So
absolutely.
And not just him, but he has a team of people that are with him, right? So it's a big undertaking to do something like that, and you know, we're extremely happy he's doing it, and it takes a very special kind of person to do that. So
yes, absolutely. And a very emotional end of his trip once he got to Ottawa. So it was quite the experience, and maybe if he's coming back this way, we can get out there and meet him, you know, as our group. So that would be wonderful. I did not. Sorry, my husband's just coming home from work here. So okay, I think that's all we can cover today. I think we'll be able to do this again. We'll have some more questions and things if people, you know, are obviously going to want to know more about what's going on. As I find more people who want to work with me here in Winnipeg, I'm asking them to contact me. I've already had a couple folks saying they are here and, you know, what can they do to help? So we do plan on getting together and getting something happening. So that's going to be pretty exciting.
Exactly. And if you're organizing something in your community, get in touch with me and I'll do a live with you. My name is Rhonda and I'll give you my email, Rhonda, RHONDA at the Power CA. And I'll go into both. We're streaming this live on Facebook as well as YouTube. And I'll go in and put my email in both once the live is done, so that people have that.
Okay, excellent. And I can see there are some people saying that they're kind of alone in their area and wondering how they can do this. You just try to find someone else in your area. Get hold of Richard, and he might be able to.
If you're alone,
people.
Exactly. And if you're alone in your area, come on a live with me and we can announce on Facebook and YouTube what you're doing. and hopefully it garners a few people in your area, at least maybe 5. You really only need 5 people to start getting momentum in communities, because their networks then get involved, right? Like the people they're involved with get involved. So
absolutely. And I mean, the Canadian nurses, who's in Winnipeg? There's got to be someone involved from, Canadian nurses who are going to be here, which would be wonderful.
Or Veterans for Freedom, or all of them.
Man, all of them. So I do plan on contacting them personally to let them know I'm here. If there's anyone in this area, let's get together and do something special.
Yeah. And thank you, Fred, for putting my email up. Thank you very much. Is there a list of contacts for all the provinces? Not yet, because people are leery. People are leery of putting their name in, like for a name. I don't know if I said or if it was in our testimony, but it basically, all we're looking for is somebody that understands how to use their phone, how to use your phone to do a Zoom, to join us on a live Zoom. That's all we're looking for. So, and again, it's a celebration. It's not a protest. You're not asking for speakers. You're not asking to have a stage. You're not asking to have any type of sound equipment there. It's just come, let's celebrate, let's chat. If you see, Monique has a wonderful handmade sign in the background. Make your own signs. Do whatever you need to do. If it's too late to order something, if you haven't ordered something already and it's too late, make something. And just go on to our PowerShift store, and you can make a banner or a sign or whatever that looks like one of ours. It doesn't need to be fancy. It just really needs to be about celebrating our collective civil and political rights, uniting together so that we can begin to hold our governments accountable. That's what this is really the heart of this. That's what this is about.
Yeah. And Olga is wondering what is it? She signed, she shared, but still not clear. Go to the PowerShift.ca. It's there. It really does explain it.
There's a really good explainer. I think it's 4 pages, a PDF document that's about 4 pages. Everything about the Convention of Consent. It explains the next steps. It explains that we want to put citizen group, community. So there's just a lot of work to be done, but we've been focusing on the first key, which is to get that constitutional change, so that we can, and it's not an amendment, it's a correction, a constitutional correction, to place the collective citizens and Indigenous people as the head of state. And that's exactly, we're still on track to have that done. And because the UK Parliament does not break extended periods of time like ours does, we're hoping to, as soon as we're able to get this into their Parliament, it will be in the Parliament. So that's what we're working on.
Yeah. Absolutely. And
then in the meantime, it's and in the meantime, it's up to all of us to begin working the two-row wampum, abiding by and reviving those agreements that our leaders cast aside. That's really what happened. So.
There are people.
Okay, so I think that's it. There's lots of questions here, but they're pretty specific. They're pretty specific, and I know Britt has probably been answering a lot of them. And I don't want to overspeak what he's been giving to people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and I mean, this is something we've been talking about. Just get hold of Richard, and he can definitely help for people who want to plant something in their area. And it doesn't have to be huge.
Yeah.
So.
That's exactly right.
Well, yeah. Fantastic. Thank you, Rhonda, for taking the time. I really appreciate it. And I'll share this on
Thank
my
you,
page
Monique.
and let people know, please, let's do this.
And I really hope to have you on again as many times as you want. We are always looking to have people on our lives that are CPU members who are getting involved in their communities, all of that. Because at the end of the day, you're the person in your community, and we want to help you and support you as much as possible when you're in your community. So if anybody is in Winnipeg or the surrounding area of Winnipeg wanting to know how to get involved, this is the lady right here. Right there.
It's opposite. Yeah. I know I'm a little bit messed up going, what? Okay. Yeah, absolutely. They can contact me. I will be posting this on my page and inviting people to contact me if they have any questions, if they want to help out with this, be involved, if they have any suggestions. That's wonderful. We need to do this together.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So thank you very much. And folks, I think we're almost at the half-hour mark, so I think we're done for today.
Okay, then. Great. Thank you so much, Rhonda. You have a great evening. Okay, you take care.
You too.
Bye-bye. Okay.
Bye-bye.